Okay, so we're back to graphing and slope-intercept form and point-slope form and standard form. Okay, so depending on the characteristics of the graph and depending on what I ask for, will determine what form you write it in. So if I ask you for a specific form, then obviously you have to do it. But if I don't ask you for a specific form, then it's up to you what you want to do. So you can be very efficient and use maybe I wouldn't say lazy, but the lazy way out and use, maybe point slope form if that's easier or slope intercept form if it's easier. But in this case, for problem 1, I'm asking you specifically for slope intercept form, but I give you what the slope is and I give you what the y-intercept is. So it really is just as easy as plugging it in, okay? Question 3 really is, this is my x1 and this is my y1, so it really is in point slope form, just really plugging everything in. So y minus 2 is equal to negative 5/3 x minus 4. Question 5 requires you to figure out what the slope is and the y-intercept. So the y-intercept here is 3, which means that b is equal to 3. And then my slope here, so I have an actual coordinate point. And so you have to be careful, but for sure there's a coordinate point here, and for sure there's a coordinate point here. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So I went up 5 and to the right 3. So my slope is 5/3. Make sure that it is really crossing the axis. And then when I give you guys a quiz or a test, I will make sure that the graphs are very, very clear so that you know what the actual coordinate points are. Okay, so this is in slope-intercept form. So y is equal to 5/3 x plus 3. Again, this one's a little blurry. So I will make sure that they are very crystal clear when it comes to your quiz and test. And then I will be very lenient when it comes to your homework. If you're off by a little bit, it'll be okay. Okay, so I want slope-intercept form. So my y-intercept is at 0, 2, which means b is 2. My slope is going down by 1 and right by 1. So my slope is negative 1/1, which is just negative 1. So in slope-intercept form, y is equal to negative x plus 2. Okay. Again, slope-intercept form. So here's my y-intercept. My y-intercept is at 0, negative 2. My slope, so I go up by 1, 2, 3, and then I go to the right by 2. So my slope is 3/2. And again, I am asking you for slope-intercept form. So y is equal to 3/2 x minus 2. 11, let's see, where are we at? 11, 12, 13. How many did I give you guys? Okay, all the way to 16. Okay, so going back to, here's question 11 here. So write the equation in all 3 forms. So that means that I want point slope, slope-intercept, and standard form. Easiest thing to do with this is to go ahead and write everything in a point slope form and then transform it. So what we're going to do first, so step 1 is to find the slope. So we will find the slope. Here's x1, y1, x2, y2, because I know most of you guys are very comfortable with that. So 0 minus 3 divided by negative 8 minus 4 gives me negative 3 over negative 12. So the two negatives make a positive. So I get a positive 3/12. And they're both divisible by 3. So it reduces to a positive 1/4. So easiest form to use is to either pick the first coordinate point or the second coordinate point and write it in point slope form. I just always just take whatever the first coordinate point is. So y minus 3 is equal to 1/4 x minus 4. So there's my first answer here in point slope form. Okay, and I do want you guys to label the forms. The third way is slope-intercept. That's where I would do next is slope-intercept. Because it follows a very nice progression. So the do slope-intercept, I have to distribute my 1/4 to both terms. So y minus 3 is equal to 1/4 x minus 1. And then I need to add 3 to both sides. So y is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. That is my slope-intercept form. My fourth thing that I would do is I would write this into standard form. So standard form, what standard form does is that it gets rid of all of the fractions that you have. So here, my fraction, my common denominator is 4. So I'm going to take both sides of my equation and I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So I get 4y is equal to x plus 8. So that is what standard form is we have to get rid of all of our fractions. Then we're going to go ahead and technically you're going to want to move your 8 to this side and your 4y over here. So technically I subtract by 8 from both sides. So I get 4y minus 8 is equal to x. And then I subtract 4y from both sides. And I get negative 8 is equal to x minus 4y. So technically what we do is, it doesn't make any difference whether or not I write it this way or the other way. So I can write it as x minus 4y is equal to negative 8. And so that is standard form. The x's are on the left side. Typically, the x is always positive, and then everybody else is on the right. Okay, and that gives you your third form. So again, all three forms. So first step is to find slope. So here's x1, y1, x2, y2. So m is equal to 4 minus a negative 2 divided by 2 minus a negative 1. Your two negatives turn into positives both in the numerator and in the denominator. So this is 6 on the top and 3 in the bottom, which reduces to 2. So again, I would do point slope form and just pick the first form, or pick the first coordinate point here. So point slope form. So y minus a negative 2 is equal to 2 times x minus a negative 1. Your two negatives turn into positives. So this is y plus 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 1. And then slope-intercept form, all we do is we just distribute. So y plus 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 1. Distribute my 2, so y plus 2 is equal to 2x plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides, and I get y is equal to 2x. So that is in slope-intercept form, where my y-intercept is actually the origin, which is 0, 0, because there's nothing being added or subtracted to my 2x. So now for standard form, I don't even think I labeled standard form, even though I wanted you guys to. So make sure you label. Okay. Y is equal to 2x. So I'm going to subtract y from both sides. So I get 0 is equal to 2x minus y. So then 2x minus y is equal to 0. And that is my standard form. Okay. Okay, question 15. All three forms again. Slope. So slope comes first. M is equal to negative 1 minus 4 over 3 minus a negative 2, so I get negative 5 over a positive 5, which is negative 1. Again, I would do point slope first. So y minus 4 is equal to negative 1 times x minus a negative 2. So y minus 4 is equal to negative x plus 2. And then slope-intercept form would be to distribute. So y minus 4 is equal to negative x plus 2. Distribute the negative to both terms. So y minus 4 is equal to negative x minus 2. Add 4 to both sides. So I get y is equal to negative x plus 2. And then for standard form, y is equal to negative x plus 2. Add x to both sides. And then I get x plus y is equal to 2. Okay? And that is it for this section.